The day of the road traffic crash rescue competition has finally arrived. West Midlands firefighters are in West Yorkshire to compete against other top teams from across the UK. It's a hotly contested trophy and Brian is feeling the pressure.
We're all a bit nervous, obviously. We're always going to have an element of stage fright.
Joe is a little bit more upbeat.
There's no real nerves for this because we're not really here to compete. We're very much the underdogs. At the end of the day, it's just a competition, you know. There's some teams that have got extra equipment and all the fancy kit, and we're just turning up in our regular fire kit and having a go.
Let's go!
The competition looks a little fearsome. Slick, well-drilled teams.
There's quite a few other teams who you can tell they've worked together for quite a long time. You're trying to get as much off them as possible.
So we're trying to sort of settle ourselves down a little bit and just trying to enjoy our scenario and enjoy the day.
Finally, the moment has arrived. Time to prove themselves under competition pressure. West Mids are sent off to the holding pen to prep for their run at the title.
There is that little bit of competitiveness that comes out of everyone, and yeah, we're obviously trying to win.
Outside, their car crash challenge is being put in position.
So you just pretty where he was, and back end he's dragging round. Yeah, we know.
Inside, the boys are doing their last-minute checks. Not using their own fire engine adds a level of anxiety for Brian.
If we don't get the results that we're looking for and we do come last, we will be disappointed, as will the rest of the team. But as long as we're moving forward, you know, that is the main thing.
It's a waiting game. Tension is rising. They have no idea what a tricky scenario they've been set.
Okay. Yeah, cheers guys, we'll see you on the other side. Guys, you all ready? That's it, we're going. Eyes ahead.
It's a car tipped over. The casualty is trapped on the driver's side with access limited by another smashed up vehicle.
Okay, plastic vehicle on this side then, guys. Okay, just watch your basics, slips, trips and spills. Joe, do you want to just follow me? Andy, out to survey, please. There's normally one dedicated medic. Okay, no casualties seen in this vehicle. He will normally go straight to the casualty.
Hello?
Joe, can you see any casualties in there?
Yeah, one casualty.
Okay, one casualty seen in this silver vehicle on this side.
Hello?
Jamie, a fire service medic. Can you hear
I'm
me?
down here, yes.
Can you hear me?
There's normally two tool operators and they'll normally start stabilising the vehicle and just preparing for the incident commander to come back with them with a plan. Just assume the battery's live in both vehicles. Be aware of any undeployed SRS. All right, just confirm that.
The SRS, or Supplemental Restraint System, is what we'd call the airbags, designed to protect driver and passengers from high-impact collisions.
What's your name?
Okay, we go.
The team then click into gear.
Okay, potential pelvic injuries, guys, acknowledge.
Acknowledge.
Primary vehicle stable, yeah? So you're clear for entry.
Right, Louise, you're doing really, really well. We've got somebody coming into the car with you now, okay?
Yes.
Can you take a nice deep breath for me? And is there any pain when you do that?
Down here.
Down here, okay, across your pelvis. Careful, steady.
The judges don't miss a thing. Mistakes are swiftly noted, and as the pressure mounts, they pile up.
Oh, get another blade.
Doing some final bits, then we'll get you out and checked over by the ambulance.
Joe? Yeah. 60 seconds to hand over.
Okay.
Against the clock, they finally get inside the car. But they're running out of time. Getting the casualty out isn't proving easy.
Tool belt off, Sam.
Seat's not all the way back yet.
Okay, well done, guys.
How come we only had 6 minutes?
The team have to down tools, unable to complete the task.
Winners.
The guys enjoyed it. We are improving, and hopefully we can take what we've learned today and move forward.
There's one more team to go before the results are announced.
We considered that to be quite a challenging scenario. It went fairly well. Lots to learn from it. I'll be amazed if we're not last. That's the truth.
The overall winners of the 2017 Yorkshire Uckrow Challenge are Greater Manchester.
Greater Manchester take the title, while competition newbies, Team West Mids, manage a respectable 5th place out of 7.
We weren't dead last, and that's amazing. We came here expecting to be, the underdogs by a huge margin, and in a couple of areas we came slightly ahead of the competition. So that's really nice to see.
Fire service. Hello there, fire, it's ambulance. We've got a rollover entrapment RTC for you. One vehicle on its roof, patient trapped, fuel leaking from vehicle, and the road is blocked.
Walsall Green Watch are mobilised. Any car rollover is always a priority job.
Walsall Station got the motorway network and busy roads around the area, so we are classed as one of the busiest stations for road traffic collisions. This incident would have been a category A due to the fact there was a person trapped in one of the vehicles. That makes it that little bit more urgent for us. If a car goes into another car head-on, you could expect the person to have a C-spine injury. They might have a problem with the neck.
This RTC is about to hit a little too close to home for Crew Commander Joe Poynton, who's off duty visiting his parents.
Yeah.
My mum took the phone call from Kiera. She looked at me and said, it's your sister, it's Kiera, she's been in a car accident, she's upside down.
He just said, where is it? I'm going round. I didn't even have to tell him anything, he just automatically went into save my sister mode.
My heart sunk and I was like absolutely terrified to think what might be the case. So I just said, I've got to go.
It's one of those surreal moments that you'd never expect to be involved in.
If a vehicle's rolled, they could have a variety of injuries. You may have had impact onto the dashboard, onto the steering wheel. If there's passengers inside, then a passenger could collide with another person inside, causing other injuries as well.
Joe's sister's car has flipped over at a notorious traffic junction.
My dad's been harping on about it for years. Be careful here, watch these, because people are always shooting across this junction. There was a nurse squatting down by the side of the car who had kindly stopped and assessed her and kept her company.
The first job for Watch Commander Ian is to assess the situation.
Obviously she was trapped upside down and held in by a seat belt. It looked like a vehicle had clipped the side of the one vehicle and just turned it over onto its roof. Damage-wise, you wouldn't have thought there'd be that bad an injury to the person inside, but you can never discount it.
Joe may have attended countless RTCs in his professional capacity, but this time it's personal and frightening.
I could feel panic wanting to get the better of me, and I was certainly very anxious with the situation. But Kiera helped with that a lot because, as is typical of her, she was, making jokes, and actually she probably dealt with it better than anybody else.
But it must have been hard for Joe, because being in the fire service, he probably wanted to get in there, start doing things himself, but because he was not on duty, leave it to the firefighters who are on duty. But it can be quite hard, because you want to get in there and help people wherever you can. That's part and parcel of the role.
When it's an anonymous person, it's okay because it's separate from him. But if he was talking about his own sister, yeah, I bet that was really, really hard.
Unable to actively rescue his sister, Joe watches anxiously from the sidelines, in constant contact with his family.
My other sister, Shana, was in absolute bits on the phone, sobbing and, you know, absolutely distraught. My mum was ringing me up to see, you know, what the situation was, and my dad was ringing me up to tell me he was on his way.
His temperament, if you like, during that accident towards you, do you think that was kind of his professional side coming out?
To calm you down.
Yeah. I think he's always like that, really. I'm getting a bit.
The assessments of the C-spine, there's no obvious injuries, we just take the door off, we're going to give him a quick check and then we just got to get him out of the vehicle after that. So.
Right, grab that door off, please.
Once they'd told me what they needed to do, it was as though they just carried on with everything around me, and they said the next thing is going to be noisy and we're going to cut the door off and we're going to need to smash the window, and they were telling me everything they needed to do before they did it.
I'm cutting the returner now. Alright love, you're going to hear a bit of a bang. Alright.
Felt like it was right here that they were doing it. And I just felt like I was just sitting there quiet, just with it all going on around me, and I don't think I spoke.
Kiera has been hanging upside down for 30 minutes, while the fire crew make the vehicle safe to get her out.
I kept saying to the people that were in my car, I was like, I'm fine, can I try and get out? Because I was just more uncomfortable than anything. I was getting like, blood rush to my head and I could feel the side of my face swelling up. I just wanted to get out, but they were just, no, we can't move you, you can't move your neck, you can't move your spine.
Carry away. Use that to take a bit of tension. You stand up with Pablo.
There's nothing else we could do really but just wait. And then she finally came out of the car upside down and hair all over the place and smiles. Yeah.
I saw lots of people when I got out of the car, but the first person that I noticed was my dad, because I just wanted to tell him that I was okay.
Yeah, she seemed absolutely fine. I'm just glad it was over for her, the whole ordeal at that stage.
As hard as it was to hear the door be cut off my car and to see it completely written off. Everyone just keeps saying it could have been so much worse, it's only a car. And I think it's just put that kind of thing into perspective that, yeah, it's just a car. It was horrible, it was a horrible morning for all of us, but we've all still got each other, we're all still a really close family, and that's the main thing.
To experience it firsthand, to be the person who has got a loved one involved in an accident is a nice reminder of how difficult it is for people to be stood on the sidelines while somebody they care about is involved in an incident.
Bye-bye.
If you missed any episodes of Into the Fire, you can watch online, on demand with